Okay. What's up? This is my first doubles analysis, so I'm doing it for Justus, LR, and Salt more specifically. I'll probably go over both sides just because, I don't know, it's more important, I think, because if I only explain the first side, then it's like, if the other side adapts, then like, not that it's useless information, but whatever. I've played with all four of these players a lot, so this won't be, like, too bad. Essentially, right, the things that I would look for. Things first, Puff Cheek. Honestly, the first thing I think of when I play against Puff is, like, center stage. Honestly. Because Puff can't force her way in, right? So how do you abuse a character that can't force their way in? You control the center so that a majority of the time they'll have to force their way in, right? Like, center stage is good in all matchups, but, Puff especially just suffers hard from not being able to get to center, and Sheik doesn't really, especially against Fox Falcon, Sheik does not have, like, a fast way to remove them from center. Like, barring a grab, unless it's like a grab rest combo, which is really hard to get if you're like prepared for it or looking out for it. So I want to see like how often Justus and Salt take center stage, or give it up, because if they give it up, is it worth it? Awareness. The reason I say awareness is that's, like, looking for what Puff is trying to do, right? Because the game plan versus Sheik in this matchup, I feel like, is so similar. 2v1 Sheik. Plain and simple, there's no two which ways around it, I think. I think if you're playing this comp especially, you just need to 2v1 Sheik. Puff gets not ignored, but like over the course of a game, right? It's much easier to hit Sheik and ignore Puff than vice versa. And vice versa is too volatile. Like, you want to ignore Puff as best you can. Unless they're forced to approach, then you take advantage of that, right? So the last thing I think I wanted to look out for is like who is initiating, who is damage control. So Falcon is hard. I think Falcon does really well versus Puff because of the space that he gets, because Puff is forced to give space versus these characters. If you were to pick, it might depend on the preference. I think who approaches should be percent based. But that's something that I prefer. But in general, it should probably be Falcon. It's more consistent. At 0, he's harder to deal with. Like, Falcon can get random pickups, but I have more confidence. Like, Fox, Drill, and Shine are much more, like, you're able to control a situation, right? Because if a situation goes wrong, if Fox is getting punished, if Falcon can't get a clean hit on the team that's punishing Fox, then, like, he just can't do anything. And if he can't get a clean hit, he either has to hit everybody, or he hits nobody, because he doesn't have a projectile. He doesn't have a whole lot of... I mean, you could run up weak knee, but, like, that's not really something you want to, like, rely on, you know what I mean, to stop a situation. So I think Falcon should be at front, if possible. But, like, yeah. He's just got, like, more consistent hitboxes. He's got good advantage on shield with knee. He better takes advantage of at least this comp. If you were to talk about, like, I don't know, like Falco Peach, then, like, you could probably argue the other way around. But for this, for Sheik plus floaty or double floaty, I think Falcon should be in front, like, no-brainer. I much prefer this comp over double Fox if they were, like, equal skill, because Falcon offers a level of, like, consistency, I think, that is really important, because for me, double Fox, I don't know, a double Fox is clearly, I think, better, but it's the same case, right, where it's like, let's say Marth and Fox do the same in a matchup, right? Like, more often than not, if you could play both, you'll go Marth because it's more consistent, right? It's the same thing in my head. Not that Falcon Fox is like as good as double Fox in this matchup, but versus Puff, I think that this is like a clear. This is a good comp. Like, I think that Fox Falcon does really well versus comp. But I just want to see how they handle it, right? So, like, I think what makes the difference, who's gonna win, because I think I remember who wins, but I'm not sure. If Salt Justus don't control center stage, or they give up something for free, then they're gonna have a hard time. If they're not aware of what Puff can do, if you shut down what Puff can do, the team is essentially half power, whatever you want to call it. Like, rest is annoying, but like, if you get grab rested and there's nobody around to save, that was a bad situation anyway. So, I'll see what happens right off the bat. Okay, I'll play it out more. I'll try not to pause too much. Okay, Fox is in front. That's good. Ignore Puff. See right there? This is all really good. This is a good combo. I think Salt should turn around up aired, but I'm not going to comment really on character-specific things, more team things. I think if... I'm assuming that Justus here was looking at the Sheik. After you up smash, right here, when you see this DI, there's no reason to look at Sheik anymore. I would be looking around here. Because I'm watching for Puff, and in my peripheral, I'm seeing what Salt does with the Sheik, right? Right here, when you're walling Puff, you should full hop back air. You full hop, and then you wait to fast fall to see if they fall under you. If they don't, then you just back air, right? So you watch out for Puff trying to save her teammate, but that's not a big deal. It's just 22. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is all good. That overextension could have been really bad. Only because right here, if Trav wave dashes down and down smashes, you're between a Sheik and a Puff near the ledge, which is like brutal. But that's like that's not really gonna happen. But it just ended up the way it was. Faust went off stage. You got the combo right here. You look for Puff, but it's fine. Nothing really happened. Right here, it's the same thing. You target Sheik and you just watch for Puff to help. So, like, yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna be, like, super nitpicky. They're both in between you, that's good. So, okay, see right there? You remember when I was talking about Puff's goals, right? This is, like, sloppy, but it's whatever. They could have killed Salt there. Right here. Not right here. Where did he get the grab? Right here. If you're Salt, you have to go for Puff. Or knock Fox out of the way, either one. He runs, maybe the Raptor Boost is trying to hit the Puff, but, like, it's not worth it, because she can just punish you anyway, even if you hit the Raptor Boost. You have to be aware of Puff here. Like, this could have just been a free kill. Like, Puff versus Fox in the neutral, Puff gets a grab. Especially right here, when you see this DI, you can't ignore Puff there. because the Fox will die. Right there, there's 2 rules to team comboing. There's the, I guess the, we'll call it the Armada rule, and we'll say the tempo rule, for convenience sake. You can either take a combo as far as you can with one character at a time, and then pass off when you can't do anything else, or you can always alternate, right? And you guys have to figure that out. Because right here, if you're doing well, I guess that might have hit, but I don't know. You guys have to figure out, like, does Salt continue it as far as he can? Because right here, even though Justus gets out of the throw, in order to even, like, he's gonna hit this, right? And, like, that's the benefit of being thrown up. But at the same time, he's now lost his double jump in the middle of the stage against Puff, which could just be the same as dying. I don't blame him for jumping because, you know, you're thinking that they're gonna rest. But right here, as Fox, you don't really have a whole lot of options. To me, personally, I would air dodge to the right, knowing that Salt might go for it, because then you're behind your teammate, and you're, like, out of there, right? So right here, yeah, you want to, after this whole mess plays out, you want to take center and hold it. So, Salt takes center, it's fine. You see what happens when you take center, right? Like, it feels like moves hit more often, and they do, because they don't have the space to react. Boxing out Sheik, take the kill. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, that's kind of worst case scenario, right? Like, that's what you try to avoid. There's no reason to chase Puff here. Even, I wouldn't. Even if it, like, true comboed, it's like, let's take this situation, right? So there's the high risk, high reward, and there's the low risk, let's call it low reward, right? Because if Salt doesn't jump way out, right, you now have a 2v1 edge guard on Sheik. Justus goes, grabs ledge, and he doesn't have to worry about mix-ups, he doesn't have to worry about, you know, whatever. And Falcon just knees, and the Sheik is dead, and the Puff's at high percent, and they can't approach. Puff being at high percent is not a bad thing at all, right? Like, it takes them longer to get back if they get knocked away. It's easier to box them out with more moves. It's like, Puff being at high percent is not something I'd worry about so much to the point where you'd, like, jump off stage, right? So now he's dead, and now, right here, had Trav not thrown out that F-tilt, which I don't really blame him, this is just a hypothetical, right? Let's say he sees right here, he could boost grab, and the Puff could rest, and you die. In the 2v1, you have to be aware, especially with characters like Puff. I do this with Peach too. Just don't be on the ground in the 2v1. Go to ledge, go to the air and up B, but don't be on the ground, because that's the only place they're gonna grab rest you, right? You might get up air rested, but like, throwing out a long-lasting hitbox on the ground, if you are gonna do it, which I'm assuming you're doing it to kill Sheik, just up tilt and buffer roll. Something less committal, because the longer you commit, the better chance of you getting arrested, right? Like, you don't want to be on the ground in the first place, much less throw out a laggy move, right? Like, if Trav doesn't F tilt, you die here. Not only that, but the only reward you got off of being there was back airing the Puff, and it didn't kill. And then you got dash tagged anyway, right? So, what if you and Salt were on blue team, right? What if he didn't spawn there? What happens if Salt doesn't drop down, like, right in front of you? Because I promise you, well, I don't want to promise you, but I doubt that you were thinking about where he's going to spawn, right? Because, I mean, I honestly don't know how it works either, so I never rely on it. It's probably something I should keep in mind. But, like, if Salt doesn't drop here, there's a good chance that If Tempo were in this situation and Salt wasn't there, he would have dash attack up smash and Fox would have died. Right here, just leave it be. Just honestly, I would just let Fox full hop back here by the ledge and let Falcon run around in center. So like when I was talking about alternating percents, like Fox taking a higher percent is good, right? Because it's less risk and it's easier. Like Falcon can short hop bear, like Falcon can do it, right? Falcon can wall and be annoying, but Fox is, I think, a little better at it because it's not so much which character is better at walling, it's which character is better at walling and then dealing with what comes after, right? So let's say you're walling a Puff, and Sheik is coming for Fox, right? As Fox, you can, if you're in the middle of the full hop, you can double jump towards center stage, and now they're both behind you. You can shine stall, or you can jump, shine, wait to see what the Sheik's gonna do, then jump again. You can literally just roll, which Falcon can do too, but Falcon's roll is a little... depends if it's a back roll, but it... I mean, I'm like nitpicking, right? But like, Fox just has more options. Like, you can short hop back air, down tilt, right? That covers behind you, and then in front of you. You could kind of do it with Falcon, but you see what I'm saying? It's not quite the same. You can also short hop up air, which is like pretty good, especially considering the percents are both at. It's like high reward. But yeah, in that situation, if Salt didn't spawn there, the Fox could have died for sure. But it is preference, right? Because the Falcon's at 0. So there's two ways to look at this. Falcon is going to be harder to kill because he's at 0, right? So like having him wall the Puff would not necessarily be the worst thing in the world. But if somebody gets a grab and throws him off stage, their reward is a lot higher. So like if Fox, and not only do I think Fox is better at walling here, but even if something happens to the Fox, let's say worst case scenario, you lose your stock. It's not like a huge problem, right? Because the Fox is already at high percent. You don't really lose that much. So I don't know. You have to decide which one of you, right? Because the Fox here is walling, and the Falcon is walling at the same time, which causes you to stock. Yeah. Right here, if I'm Salt, I just jump. Yeah. That works. That works. There's nothing really that wrong with that. That's okay. You're controlling center here. Good. Fox is walling. Good. See, right there, right? That's what I was talking about with Fox having more options out of walling. You get the back air, go for another back air, up tilt, something happens, you're good. You're fine. So, that's really good. Right here, I think what I need to stress, if you guys could, like, take one thing from this, right? Be deliberate. Like, I don't know your reasonings for things, but have a good reason. So, like, right there, that knee was good. For Salt, I don't know why he went for this. I don't know a whole lot about the matchup, but I don't think there's a world that ever connects, no matter how fast you are. Because overextending like this is not the same in doubles. Right here, right? Let's say... because now, look at this situation. You might both be at low percent, but you have now both burned your double jump by the ledge between two characters, right? Like, if Salt doesn't hit that stomp, you guys are in a horrible position. But it works out. Good DI. Good recognition that the Puff's gonna throw. You're in center. That's fine. Them the point of holding center isn't to just always keep them out, it's that even if they do, it's okay. Right there, you guys gotta figure it out. I don't know what the drill was for, but it could have just saved him. So, like, just keep in mind, right, like, it might have been a tech flub or whatever, but, like, yeah, it might just have been a tech flub. It might have been an up air, which is fine. See, right there, you have to, like, what's the goal here, right? Because you guys did the right thing. This is the right thing. Puff is away, can't do anything. See, Salt knows there's no point in going for Puff. There's a free kill right here, right? But what's the point of up-airing here? Sheik's gonna die. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's a way that Sheik lives here, right? So there's no point in exposing yourself because you very well, off of ledge, could just burn your double jump and die. Because then Salt would be in the air, Puff grabs ledge, Faust would be up being below, and you could just straight up die for that. Like, so many things that could have gone differently. You know what I mean? This is good. Just take center. Yeah, just take center. Just... That was kind of weird. That was more like getting stuck in movement. Not so much like being in the wrong place. This is something to keep in mind. Not saying that you guys were wrong in any sense. Right here, me personally, I would shine grab. Because when you shine like this, most people don't wave shine back, and even if they do, it's fine, because then you're holding center. But you basically forced your way in. And I think had the other team been cognizant of that, that could have been a problem. Like, basically in this, like, analysis or whatever, I'm not, like, telling you guys that what you did was necessarily wrong, but I'm telling you what I would have done and what to keep in mind. Because there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing, right? Like, you know, like if you want to hold center stage by having Falcon back air in place, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. It's just like, there are very clear general rules to doubles, but there are exceptions. So, like, I'm just telling you, like, to me, what the general rules would be and, like, what I would do, right? Right here, keeping center is good. It's hard because a 2v1 is scary. So, like, even though keeping center is ideal, it's not worth it here, right? Like, that's the decision that you can make that, like, yeah, it's just not worth it. Like, I'm getting out of here, I'm not getting 2v1, whatever, which is totally fine, because you just run back and take center. It looks like you attempted to just run back and take center anyway. So it's like, Trav giving up center there for free is kind of brutal. Had that up air connected, he would have been in a really bad spot. Or, like, not traded. Good recognition by Salt. Because Puff's really not going to be able to do anything. Yeah. I like this a lot. This is the 2v1 Sheik ignore Puff. Right here. Puff has no chance of being a threat. You go after the Sheik. Trav's smart. He jumps away. And now you're in, like, this situation, right? So ideally, one of you gets in front of Sheik and behind Puff. Or both. Or, in like, sandwich them both. Because at this percent, sandwiching them both is not a bad thing. Because your risk-reward for hitting Puff is so, like... Unless you get grabbed or something. Unless you just straight up mess up. But it's fine. You guys are kind of, like, poking it. That's a pretty bad stomp. See, this went, like... This could have gone horribly wrong, right? That's a back throw rest. Every single day of the week, that is a back throw rest. That is essentially the only thing you're looking out for, right? Is rest. That's like... Edge guards and doubles you usually die anyway if the comp's any good. So really, Puff's main thing is just rest. That's it. She's really good at walling, but that doesn't come up nearly that often in doubles. This is a rest. This is a back throw rest every day of the week. I don't know what this accomplishes. If I were Fox, I would running drill here. Because especially since right here, the Puff is jumping over. There's nothing that Puff can do that won't hit Sheik and me if I'm Fox and I running short hop drill. It stops everything. And then both of you buffer roll. Because I doubt they're, you know, ready for that. But now you both got hit. You got hit by the dead weight. Like, yeah, I don't think I have to explain to anybody what kind of situation this is. This is not a great one. But, you know, it's like, why did that happen? Bad shield pressure, and no running drill or running shine from Fox. Yeah. Let's see what happens. I'll stop pausing it nearly as much because I kind of got the basics out of the way. Fight for center. Be a little closer. Be a little closer to Falcon here. If you're, you know, if you're Fox, just in case. It worked out. Like, if Falcon got hit by an up air, are you close enough to stop the rest? They didn't grab rest. They had the chance. Holding center. You gotta figure out which one is going for who. This is where you figure out percent based or matchup based, right? Right here. It's pretty much like, this is something you determined beforehand. It might sound like something you call in the moment, but personally, if you call it in the moment, it can get confusing and jarring. Like, if somebody tells me to do something while I have something else in mind, I kind of like freeze up, right? And like, maybe you don't, and maybe you can like figure it out. But this is the kind of thing I would discuss beforehand. Percent based or matchup based. Do you want Falcon to go in always, or do you want Fox to go in always, or do you want it to be whoever's at lower percent goes in versus Sheik, right? Like, that's your preference. Because then this doesn't happen. Ideally, if you can coordinate it, Fox just jumps straight over and Falcon needs the shield. And that forces a lot of things, right? It's a sandwich, is what it is. And like, if Sheik jumps, then Falcon gets the up air. Sheik probably dies. Like, what is your purpose here? Like, even if you hit Trav, what are you trying to do? Ideally, you're trying to set up a team combo, or you're trying to get a Neon Sheik, because a Neon Sheik at this percent is almost death, especially since the other character has such a reputation of not being able to force her way in, right? But it felt like there was no goal. You just felt like hitting Sheik was the right thing to do, which it was, but there's a step after where you have to be like, even if I hit the Sheik, what do I get from it? Right? This went probably as poorly as you could ask for, to be honest. Yeah, that's about as, you know. Honestly, if they started taking advantage of this, you guys would have been cleaned. Like, if Puff rolled to the right and Trav forward throw, that's a rest. Even then, he dash attacked, he probably could have rested after the dash attack. I'm gonna see what Falcon does while you're getting thrown. Rolls backwards. It's okay, because he's avoiding Puff. He helped the tech situation, which is good, but now, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Help the tech, let Falcon do his thing, it's Falcon, and then you wall out Puff. Like, that's what you're aiming. That's the end goal right there. You hit Sheik, box out Puff. That's what you aim for every stock, every situation, every decision. That's what you want. See right here? You have to be close to your teammate. There's no... There may be some merit in making that read. But first of all, now you're vulnerable. Second of all, your teammate is now vulnerable, right? Your teammate is now one-on-one. Sheik versus Falcon. Sheik is at low percent. Like, there's a very high chance that he was gonna die here, right? Like, there wasn't a whole lot of options other than get a... Not, I don't want to say like a lucky stop, but like... Think of who has the advantage decision-making wise in this situation, right? Sheik has center stage, a percent lead. Like, more often than not, the Sheik was gonna win here, and as Fox, you have to know that. You have to be aware of your teammates' odds of success. He dies for that. If you can get a shine, that's worth it, but down tilt is a pretty good decision. I don't disagree with the air dodge, because you didn't get max reward, but there was really no reason for the Puff to let you do that, so I don't blame you for air dodging. But I will say that if you have the recognition that it's too risky, then don't go for the shine at all. Because you could have been grabbed and back thrown, and then Sheik was on ledge, and you were back thrown, right? Like, that's worst case scenario. Like, what the worst case scenario is something you have to avoid, if not in 2v2s, because they can be really complicated and lead you to the wrong decisions. In a 2v1, always be aware of the worst case scenario, because that's what they're going for, right? A lot of the time, they're not gonna... Puff's not gonna forward smash you here, right? So you're not looking out for forwards. You're not gonna CC right here, because there's nothing Puff gets off of you CCing, right? Like, you just don't look out for it because it's not a good option. So what you do want to do is look out for the good options. And if you're aware that you're not going to get the punish or the save, just don't even bother. Like, it's just too much of a risk. I will say, I would prefer the Falcon be more deliberate with the hitboxes, because most of the time it doesn't matter, but it can matter, right? So like right here, when you're coming back, you're running, right there. That knee has like no purpose. That knee was thrown out before the Puff even looked like they were gonna go there. Yeah. There's no reason to knee right here. The only person who can get hit by this knee is the Fox. So it's just not worth it. If I were Fox, right? So let's think of what I would do here is I look at the state of both characters. What can both characters physically do in this situation? What options they have? Puff has nothing. Puff has to jump or air dodge. She cannot hit you for anything. She cannot do anything. She has nothing. Sheik is charging needles, right? Sheik can cancel charging needles and aerial. So let's think, right? Like, how can you take advantage of forcing Sheik to aerial? As Fox, I buffer roll backwards here. Not only does it avoid needles, Puff can't do anything about it. You're behind Sheik, you're now sandwiching her. She throws out a back air, Salt gets a punish. If she doesn't, you get a punish, right? That's ideal. But it wasn't really taken advantage of, right? This is risky by Salt. If the Puff is aware... If the Puff is aware right here that Falcon is going to save Fox, because, you know, Falcon can have a hard time saving for sure, especially this double jump. Here, if I'm Puff, I'm like, he's going to hit Sheik. In some way or another, he's going to hit Sheik, right? I don't know why he jumped away. Maybe he was worried about Nair or something. But if I'm Puff here, I'm thinking he's going to Nair stomp Sheik. And then I just back throw, or up throw, or whatever. Still gets a punish, but not a good one. That might just be a decision in hindsight, not knowing percents. This This was a miscommunication. I think it's up to you guys. You can let Falcon take it for options reasons, like you can get a punish on both. You could let Fox take it for consistency reasons, but it has to be one or the other. It can't be both. You can have a rule like, if available, Fox will always do it. You know, whatever you guys want to figure out. So you gave up center and missed a punish, which is worst case scenario. I don't know what function that full hop stop. It might have been a textual mistake, which is fine. But this is bad, right? Fox is over 40 in the corner, first two characters. This is bad. Falcon's gonna have a hard time forcing his way in unless they mess up. Tries to force his way in, hits you. Luckily the scramble worked out, but if I'm here, right? If I'm Fox, I'm buffering DI to the left if possible, because Puff's up throw has a dead weight, right? So you could realistically hit the Sheik with the dead weight of the throw, and then gives the Falcon enough time to react, because even if you hit Sheik and you end up in a place where you can get rested, the Falcon can just up air and clear everybody out of that situation. Everybody's at a high enough percent where Falcon can remove them, right? If you DI to the right, you get edge guarded and Falcon can't help you, right? So when I'm up tilting a shield here, I'm thinking, what's the worst that could happen? If you get down thrown, not bad. Forward thrown, you can tech on the stage, not that bad. You get up thrown, if you DI to the left, you're fine. If you DI to the right, you might die. That is worst case scenario in this situation, is if you get up thrown and DI to the right. Forward throw, not that bad. You see what I'm saying? If you're aware of that stuff, like, you can minimize its damage control. Like, what is the worst thing that can happen? I'm going to prevent the worst thing from happening. Right? So now you're just fighting for center. Yeah. Just fighting for center. Just two one-on-ones. You both. Good shine. You both lost your one-on-ones, but that's about as good as the situation was going to get for both losing the one-on-ones. Right here, that's too close to Falcon. Right? Because there's nothing... I see what you were going for. That might have been, like, maybe turnaround up tilt. But, maybe letting Falcon get a one-piece, like he up airs and then you back air, because even if you back air Puff, she's not going to go anywhere at this percent. You can't ping pong at 6. So, I feel like you let Falcon get the first hit, you stay about right here, block the Sheik, and then get something on Puff. But you put yourself in an awkward position. Salt tries to help, but Falcon can't help very well. So he gets, like... You know what I mean? Like, what are... Falcon's options here are not that great. Okay. They have center. So how do you fight your way out of the corner here, right? That's actually a really good full up there. That forces Sheik to do something. So I'm thinking here, right? After Salt gets this absolutely cracked double jump full hop nair, which is the riskiest, ballsiest move of all time. Right here. Running under and punishing Sheik while getting a back air on Puff is the single best option that you could get. Sheik has two options, right? Because you're threatening an aerial on Puff, Sheik has to do something. Right? Sheik bears. Sheik has to prevent you getting that punish on Puff. That is the prerogative, right? So you, knowing this, you can do this. Knowing this, you can run up Back throw. Mr. Shine, that's fine. If you back throw, Salt can legit just knee Sheik off stage, and now they're in a terrible position. Right? Now they've reached center again. Like, this is rough, right? Like, if you were to pick your situations, you went from this to knowing what they were gonna do, having a clear punish, and a chance to win right here. Miss the shine, that's fine. But now Salt is in a 1v1 that he doesn't want to take. And you jumped when Puff was over your head, and Puffs tend to nair when they're over top of you. So now you're like in the corner. It's just bad, right? That could have been a kill. Like, he could have just forward aired the Falcon on reaction, I'm pretty sure. If he had been looking for it. Yeah. I'm gonna see how this plays out. Center stage. There's no reason to hit Puff that way. It might have been an accident. But I'm just letting you guys know, like, you know, what to look out for. Puff reaching Falcon is the single worst thing to happen in this situation. This is awful for Falcon. If he buffer rolls to the right, maybe he's safe a little longer. That's hashtag, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. It forced them to take an unwinnable situation. Either he lets Falcon live, or he gets grabbed. And that's just... He took the right option, right? Because letting Falcon live is much worse. Because 2v1s are just way harder, no matter what percent both of them are at. But he couldn't find a way down, so that's fine. I'll go over one more game, because this analysis is already, like, dummy long. But I'll go through it, like, super quick. Okay, center stage. Awareness of the up throw. Letting Falcon... Okay, you guys figured out which one was going to go in. That's fine. Controlling center while switching. This is what you want. This is the ideal... This is every goal that you want to keep in mind. And you guys executed it, right? Like, that's what success looks like. Didn't get in Falcon's way. Good. You're in center, controlling it. Little risky up smash. He's throwing to you. You guys are playing... Those first couple stocks are like... They're having so much trouble doing anything about it, right? They pick one option, they get punished for it. Even if they succeed in the moment, they don't win in the long run. That could have been a rest. Up smash is a little risky. Now you help your teammate down tilt. Yeah. Like, you guys know what to do. It's just like... I think if you guys know what you're going for, you can aim for the good things in a way that's easier. Right? Because you can make decisions and then, like, have them work out and do the good things. And you know to do the good things, but you don't know how to get to the point where you can do the good things. That was really bad by Soul. I mean, that's like... Your Falcon, don't jump off stage. Just... Interesting. You just gotta, like, take what you can. But don't take more than you can. Okay. That was just a quick little punish. Not really that big a deal. Yep, good drill. Now you help against Puff. If you're struggling to get over Puff, or like get around her, rolling is pretty good. I don't know what that was. Rolling is pretty good, and just jumping over her head are really good. Especially on Dreamland, just jump over. Guarding center. That up air over top of the Fox, there's no reason to do that. Where is it? You want to stay goalpost, right? Like, you want to be the same distance apart. Right here, you want to be this distance apart, and you don't really want to cross over each other. It's hard with Falcon because he moves so fast, but generally that's where you want to be. I feel like Salt is trying to cover a zone here that Justus can just cover. Like, go for the... You cover the Falcon covers the Sheik, and the Fox covers above them both, and you're good. But now this is just confusing. Like, you don't know who's really going for what. I feel like you just knee there. So, what's the biggest advantage of having someone who can't help on the other team? Is that every edge guard against the person who's not the Puff becomes that much more brutal. Like, if you knee here, even if he lives, especially because Puff's at 50, I feel like you just wall the Puff, and even if the Puff gets in, it's like, you had a really good chance, right? Like, over time, if you were to do it over and over, the Sheik would probably just die. The Nair can also be SDI'd out of. That's hard. That's a hard situation for Falcon. Yeah. That could have been really bad. Just keep in mind here, when somebody's getting punished, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is both of you dying. Obviously. So what is a way that you can try to keep him alive, but prevent both of you dying? That's the goal. That's the best case scenario, because if it does work, you both live. If it doesn't work, then one of you lives. But you just don't want the prior. Or you don't want you both to die. There's no reason for that. There's no situation like that where you should ever both die, unless they completely outplay you in that option situation where, like, how do you go for it but keep yourself from dying if you don't pick the right way, or they outplay you in that situation. This is another team combo situation. You have to figure out, do you want, one to take it as far as they can, or do you want to go for one or the other? It's good. Falcon's got a crazy dash dance grab. See right there? That's like, how many opportunities are lost to that? To one of you getting a grab and not knowing what the other one's gonna do with it. Right here, Salt hesitated. I don't know why he still went for it after hesitating. That situation, I think you want to hold Sheik hostage. Right here, you grab, and you wait to see what Puff does. If Puff goes above you, you up throw the Sheik into Puff. If Puff goes in front of you, you forward throw the Sheik into Puff. It keeps Salt safe, keeps you safe, but right here, now you're exposed. Right? Like, okay, worst case scenario, right? Puff ledge cancel back airs and lands on ledge. So you got back aired, even if you omps attack, the Sheik can probably dash attack you. And then Puff has ledge against Falcon. There's a back air. Now Falcon's on the ledge. They didn't play this super well. Right, but look at this situation. You're off stage, Falcon's at the ledge. Puff's on stage. Sheik is at a height where she could throw dummy good needles. He fares instead of waiting. So you guys kind of lucked out. That situation, you'll have to decide what to do as Falcon Fox, where you get a grab at a low percent and there's somebody far away. I would infinite if possible for as long as possible, and then probably throw over Fox with forward throw and CC up smash. It won't kill, or you can CC forward smash just to get the Sheik off stage. Like, how much percent do you think you could get in this time, right? Probably to, like, 50? If the Sheik doesn't break out. You could even, like, go for grab release. So you just up tilt. Right? You just up tilt, Sheik in Falcon's hands over and over. If the up tilt is stale, it'll just wobble for a little bit. Not like a true wobble, but... and then even if the Sheik breaks out, you get an up tilt, and then that's a combo, right? Like, that's a good situation. Good awareness of Puff while 2v1ing Sheik. That was more of a... I think that was more of a Fox error. Yeah. Yeah, I think you go to ledge there. It's... hindsight, it's whatever, but the situation... That was determined by, like, not so much positioning, but... Yeah. That's good. I can go over briefly, because this is what I would consider double floaty. Get a sandwich on one, and it inbox out the other, and try to hold center. That's TLDR. See right here, right? Puffs between you two. If you get it back here. But right now you're both like playing the 1v1. You regroup, go to center, good. It feels like you guys are never attacking the same person, at least so far. That was a good crouch by Faust. Yeah, you guys are never attacking the same person, which it's only been 5 seconds, but you know. That was good. Aware of each other's options, don't step on each other's toes. That's fine. That's good. Prevented worst case. Good. Yeah, you both living there, like, you'll take this every day of the week. 2 people alive over 1 person dead. See, like, you want to control center, right? Like, Trav literally just rolled twice to center stage. There's no reason for that. Like, you guys are at high percent, so, like, and it's tournament, right? So I'm not gonna say, like, I'm not gonna say that it was, like, necessarily a decision I blame you for making at all. I might have done the same thing. But that's just that's an example where, like, if you had center stage, he couldn't do that, and he was trapped. You're going for the same person there, that was good. Like, this entire game, you guys have been going for separate people. It's fine, leave Puff alone, good. Both of you go for Samus here. Puff's at high percent, Puff's by the ledge. Right here. You have to both go for Samus here. You're ignoring a guaranteed punish on someone for I guess like a theoretical punish, and Faust is too good to let you have that for free. We all know that. And not only do you not get the punish, but you actually, I think, die for this. Yeah, you died for it. So rather than going for a guaranteed 2v1, because that up tilt was not safe. You could knee that up tilt from behind. So not only did you not get the punish, but Faust is a good puff, so you just legit died for it. And now your teammate's getting edge guarded. That's worst case scenario. Right there. That absolutely, like, if I could take, like, one situation to explain what I mean on why Puff isn't good, you took every strength that Puff had and just, like, in that moment, let her have it. You overextended, you got boxed out, you didn't ignore her, you both died for it, right? Yeah. I'm gonna chill. I think I kind of got across all the important stuff. Because I've been talking for like almost an hour. If there's more specific things you want me to talk about, I can talk about it. And, like, you know, just to clear it up, I don't judge or blame you guys for any of the decisions you made, right? Like, that's not the point. I'm not gonna say, like, oh, this was just wrong. Like, it's not so much that I think things can be necessarily wrong. It's that I just want to, like, help give, like, basically what you want to do, right? Like, your goal. And to me, the way I think of getting to a goal can be different. So like, you know, it's not like my word is end all be all, but it's just like a food for thought, I guess. Um, there's a couple things to talk about beforehand, and like think how complicated this was, right? Like this took me for let's say 9 minutes of gameplay. It took me 55 minutes, and I stopped myself, right? Like that's how complicated this stuff is. Um, if you do have other characters or other comps, you have to keep in mind how much work it is to learn every single comp. Unless you do something like this character covers this comp, and I won't. So let's say you never play Falcon versus this comp, you only play Fox. Then it's the same amount of work, but you do have to like less of it transfers, right? Like double Fox plays so much differently than Fox Falcon. The fundamentals are the same, and you might be able to figure most of them out just by having the fundamentals, but it's hard. Um, but yeah, it was a good analysis. I want to start doing them for more people. I think it's dummy helpful. I'm pretty articulate for doubles, which is surprising. I'm not usually one to be able to articulate what I'm thinking. But taking a situation and running best case scenario, worst case scenario is something I already do while I'm playing naturally, so it really isn't that hard to just say it out loud. But yeah, hope it helped. If you have another set that's double fast fallers, that one plays a lot differently, so that might help a lot. And once you get one fast faller, one floaty, two fast fallers, and two floaties, you'll basically like kind of figure out everything else just kind of gels together. So hope it helps. Peace, boys.